Hey everyone, welcome back to Eyes on the Ball. I know it's been fucking forever. I don't even know what episode we're on, and I keep saying that. It feels nostalgic at this time to just keep on saying that same shit. I think we're on episode 16. We might be on 17. I can't fucking believe this is my show and I'm being this much of a fucking. I get it. I'm sorry. Um, I think it's just hardest for me to find like an actual day/time to really make a recording session. I do love talking about basketball. It's just like, damn, you know what I mean? It's just hard to find a day for it. Um, your boy did get a full-time job now, so it's also a little bit more difficult. And I'm doing online school, so. But those are just excuses. It don't take too long for me to, get in front of the camera and yap. But yes, it's been a while. A lot has happened since last time. The trade deadline, All-Star break is in like a few days. Um, uh, yeah, I mean those are the two things, but obviously they both come packed with a lot of information. The fight that happened before yesterday between the Pistons and the Hornets, but yeah, there's a whole lot to it. First thing I want to get into though is I guess I just want to read out some stats, or I just go over the standings more than anything. Eastern Conference, Pistons are the first seed and Celtics are like 6 games behind. It's kind of crazy that Pistons are this good, obviously compared to last year as well. It's like, or the year before that, but they're the bottom seed in the Eastern Conference, and you know, Cunningham talking about that they're not 2-26 bad and stuff like that, and now they're 39-19, and the only team that has the same amount of losses as them are OKC, and to be honest, it's kind of poetic that they have the same amount of losses because they kind of do employ the same kind of roster construction, where it's just like a heliocentric guard, and just like fucking 10 ankle biters of defenders, and that's what it kind of kind of is. Like obviously the Pistons, I think, compared to OKC, they do still have scorers. Like I think again, Aaron Wiggins, even though he might not be the best defender, he can still put the ball in the hoop very efficiently. J-Dub, even though he's been injured and might be on a chopping block come next year, who knows? He can obviously score. Shet, even though I don't view him as a scorer or a two-way guy, I kind of view him as like a defensive anchor / defensive just demon overall. But any offense that he provides is a bonus, just because I don't expect offense from him, especially against. Like, I think he's a sneaky good offensive player, but I don't expect it from him, especially when it's tough competition. Like, if it's not him being able to get to like a pull up, I don't really expect him to do anything in the paint too much. Maybe like an offensive rebound and a dunk it and a putback, or maybe a lob. I don't expect too much from him. Um, but yeah, like the OKC, excluding who they just got from the trade deadline, which I'll talk about a little bit as well. I don't really see them too much like as they have more scorers than the Pistons for sure. Well, the Pistons they got Cade, but Cade on the other hand, or Shea, is like Shea's a point generating machine, while Cade Cunningham is more of a playmaking heliocentric guy, kind of like Luka in a way, where like they're like just controlling the offense and being a war general or a commander for their team, their offense. But I think the difference is kind of the fact that the Pistons are definitely more equipped to kind of adhere and support Cunningham's ability as a scorer / playmaker, while he's also a great defender as well for a guard, because he's such a big body guy who can kind of like who's switchable in a way because he's just taller and has a big body. With Lucas, obviously it's kind of like he's a bit slower, sluggish sometimes. He doesn't have too high of a motor on the defensive end, and he doesn't really how would I say? I guess he doesn't really get physical with defenders the way that Cade does as well, right? But and it makes, again, like I said, not only are they both they both kind of similar players or teams. They also both have the same record in terms of losses, but they're also um, top two in defensive rating as well. Oklahoma City Thunder obviously is number one with 106. The Pistons are number two though, and after that is like a 2 point differential from the third place, which is the Celtics. Not even, no, the third place is San Antonio Spurs. But yeah, those two teams are great. Obviously, they're at the top for a reason. Do I think Pistons make it far in the playoffs? Maybe. They have a high net rating. Their net rating is 8.1, which is kind of crazy to be honest. I just think they lack offensive power when Cade isn't scoring or being inefficient. I think they do get that from Tobias Harrison sometimes, and they do also get it from Paul Reed, I think. And unless Duran learns or kind of goes back to how he was performing before when Cade was out, I think, and he was averaging like fucking Shaq numbers. If he can learn to do that while Cade's doing what he's doing, then I think the offense is like fine, and I think they do have a shot. But until I see more of that, I think I want to see more of that before I kind of like confirm whether or not they can get really far in the playoffs or win it all at least. Because I think they can still get pretty far, like easily second round. I think that's their floor for sure. Yeah, I think that's their floor. But yeah, those two teams have been phenomenal. Celtics second seed, Knicks are the third seed in the East, Cavs are the fourth, Raptors are the fifth, 76ers the sixth, Magic the seventh, 8 is the Heat, ninth the Hawks, 10th the Hornets, and then follows is Bulls, Bucks, Nets, Wizards. Wizards are like literally the worst team in the league, or not Wizards, Pacers, sorry. And then on the Western Conference side is the Thunder, Spurs second, Rockets, then it's Nuggets, Lakers, Timberwolves, Suns, Warriors, Blazers, Clippers, Grizzlies, Mavericks, Jazz, Pelicans, and Kings. I think the Kings are actually worse. The Kings are 12-43. And the Pelicans are 15-40, and they're not even like a team that's like trying to be ass. Like they're trying to be decent this year, and they just suck. But yeah, those are the standings right now. I think I'm very surprised. Like I said, I'm kind of surprised that the Celtics are second. Again, I think before the season started, I had my predictions for the rankings and stuff like that. I had no idea the Celtics would be like this. I think I basically, what I had before was a inverse of what's going on with the Celtics and the Pacers. I think I had the Pacers being like in the play-in / playoff, and then I had the Celtics being out. But it's the opposite. Like the Celtics are obviously, I mean, they're top two in the East, and the Pacers are at the bottom. So it's very interesting to see it happen. I guess what I didn't account for was, just injuries with the Pacers, to be honest, because that's really the main thing. I just did not expect the Pacers to get so injured and have such shit injury luck. Yeah. Obviously the Magic as well being seventh is kind of crazy. Like I thought they'd be like an easy top 6 lock. Obviously it's not working out for them. They're still kind of learning how to mend everything together. But they also have had some injuries as well. Like Franz has been injured for a while. Paolo just came back from injury, I think. Or no, he didn't just come back. He came back a while ago from his injury. But Bane and him didn't really kind of figure out a way to make things work. I think Paolo had a decent game like right before Franz came back, like a 30-point game, and I think even a game before that he was doing pretty good as well. But them being 7th seed, to be honest, even with those injuries, is surprising and very cool. But I think obviously that team isn't doing the best as people thought that they would. Obviously the Hornets have been fucking amazing, and I will talk about the fight, but the Hornets have been so fun to watch. They're such an amazing team. I think they had, I looked before I left, the net rating for the Hornets, their top 12 in net rating, just a 2. but seeing them with like these other teams is just so funny. Like seeing them like in the same breath as like the Warriors, the Suns. They're even closer to the Cavs, even though the Cavs are like a 3.8 net rating. But it's just so funny seeing that team there. And I think it's since December or January, I think they've had like a 12 plus net rating, which is like insane. Obviously, again, like that starting five is just phenomenal. They are so they're just so offensively great. Obviously, the defense is super good as well because I feel like that is what kind of promotes good offense, especially when you have athletic players, because the ability to score off turnovers or in fast breaks is like something that's really, really beneficial for kind of stretching out leads and stuff like that and extending them. So I think that's like why they're so good. One of the reasons why, because their defense. But not only that, of course, but they have Khan and who's like on pace to be like one of the make the most threes as a rookie. I think Brandon Miller is like kind of. I think honestly, when I look at Brandon Miller, I do look at him as like a potential number one option, but in a way where it's like Andrew Wiggins like, where it's like maybe not like a surefire number one option, but you could definitely see him being like that like sneaky 30-point dropper who plays great defense, like the not the glue guy of the team, but somebody who's like extremely reliable, who's a 3 level scorer, all of that. And when I look at Brandon Miller, I do see that like a lot, like just like inklings of of like prime Andrew Wiggins, or like just an Andrew Wiggins that is just like great, like elite all the time, right? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's what I see. But yeah, they've been extremely great. Obviously, in that lineup of LaMelo, Khan, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Diabate is like one of the best lineups in the league as well in terms of net rating. But yeah, they're just extremely fun to watch. They're fast paced. They're athletic. They do it all. They play within their advantages and talents while also kind of making plays for themselves and for the others that they create for themselves. And they also help each other with screens in terms of actions and stuff like that. And it's just super fucking cool to witness that because it works, right? It works for them. On the Western side, again, the Suns being where they are is just insane to me. I never would have thought they'd be that good. I did not know the Blazers were in the ninth seed, to be honest. I thought they were a little bit lower. But there's a 3-game gap between 7 and 8, and then 8 and 9 and 10. So it's gonna be very interesting to see the playoffs or the play-in this year. I think it's gonna be super interesting to see who makes it. I mean, obviously, like I think how it's looking like right now is probably gonna be that way for the rest of the season. I do think obviously the Clippers are trying to compete, the Blazers are trying to compete. The Warriors might fall. I think they do fall, especially if Curry doesn't come back soon. But I think how the record look or how the season looks right now, I think it'll be the same. Maybe the Thunder fall to second seed, depending on how OKC plays without Shea these next few games as well. I guess it depends on how long he's out. Probably not for too long, to be honest. But it's interesting to think about. They could fall to the second seed. I don't think they go lower than that. Yeah, I think we're just looking at right now. I'd probably say it like that. But anyways, that's it. That's it for the standings and stuff. Like I said, it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens. It's a lot of games today. All-Star break is in a few days, and I feel like post All-Star break is like when you really see a lot of cool stuff from the player or the teams and the players who, like the role players and the guys who have not gotten much shine prior. So I'm excited for the post All-Star break. I don't know if the All-Star break is going to be entertaining or not. I feel like it won't be. Again, I'm hoping that it could. I do like the format this year. I like the world versus USA. I just don't know if it's gonna be fun or not. It might be if Wemby plays and he keeps his promise about playing like seriously, then maybe I can see I can see that maybe. Um, but yes, that fight yesterday or before yesterday was crazy, man. I cannot believe. Obviously, the suspensions came out today. I think Stewart was only suspended. The suspensions were not that crazy. I thought they'd be way more, and I don't know why they waited so long to dish them out. Considering like I saw Colin Sexton got fined for like 35K for like putting the middle finger up at the on the free throw line to the rim because he missed her or he made her some shit like that happened, and it was just like it was a very dumb fine, and we're still waiting for like these motherfuckers to get suspended like to find out what number of games they get suspended for, and it's just kind of funny or ironic in a way. But yeah, Beef Stew got suspended like 10 games. Diabate got suspended, or was it 7 games? I could find it right now, but let me check. Yeah. There was some good games tonight too. It's 76ers and man, what's it called? And the Knicks. If they're anyways, okay. Yeah. I'm looking at them again, bro. What the fuck? Beef Stew got suspended 7 games. Miles Bridges got suspended 4 games. Diabate 4 games and Jaren 2 games. Like that was so. What? I feel like they were kind of shitty suspensions to be honest. Obviously I'm a little bit jealous because like damn like John Morant got suspended for less. What the fuck? but But yeah, I mean it's good for the players to be honest because they're not missing much time. Beef Stew's gonna miss like what maybe like 3 weeks of games. The rest come back relatively soon, like end of the month. Duran only getting 2 games is kind of crazy considering I feel like he's the one who started it. And you can say Diabate was like extended it and like had no reason to be that angry, but I get it at the same time. Like I think Duran should have been suspended the same amount as well, but so whatever happened. That fight was crazy though. Like I love it though. I love it. Let's get negative. I fucking love it. I love it. I love it more than anything. I want teams to do this. I love seeing hatred on the court because it's just so fucking fun. Like it tells fans that y'all really trying to win this shit and that y'all hate each other, and it just shows intensity. I fucking love that shit. It's like it just adds so much to like storylines and narratives. Like, and I think that's like a big reason as to why old NBA was like so much more intriguing, and it's like I think it's why it's intriguing now if you've never been a part of the old NBA or like watching old narratives and shit, like the documentaries on like previous playoff series and stuff like that. Like they're just so fucking cool because the storylines added to it. Like in the documentaries now, like the starting 5 one, even though that shit got fucking canceled, which is insane. I can't believe that shit got canceled, but because it was so fucking good. But like that was like super cool too because it was like you kind of just know what the player is thinking about before games or big games or playoff series, all that, right? And it was super cool. But like I feel like we don't get that. We don't get like I feel like we get pushed a narrative from analysts that simply are not about basketball anymore, or just ways to like kind of like destroy or belittle players and their I guess like their personas. But like with the documentaries and stuff like that, like we get narratives from like the source themselves and kind of like who they are, kind of like what they represent more, and it's just super cool, right? But anyways, yeah, like I love the fight. I loved it, and I hope that we get more of it. Like I don't care if they get suspended more. I need more, but I love it. And I feel like low key, if you think about it too, I think what makes it crazier was that like those boys were really fighting one. Even though I think Jalen Duren like stepping away from it was kind of like thumbs down for me. You know, like you're the one, like you must hit, bro. You like it was fucking Play-Doh. You just smushed that motherfucker's head. You had to have like, I don't know why he was walking away. To be honest, but Diabate was obviously fucking like on cocaine, bro. That motherfucker was a bear. In that whole situation, like it was crazy. And then Miles Bridges going for like a punch, and then him and Duran squaring up, and then fucking Isaiah Stewart. And like every clip I see of that shit is fucking hilarious, dude. Like he just bolts off from the bench. There's like a not a aerial view angle, but like kind of like more like I guess scoped up or angled up, and Miles Bridges is by like the sidelines being held back, and then you see Isaiah Stewart with the fucking ice bags on, and he's just like chasing Miles Bridges, or not chasing him, but like running up to Miles Bridges, and the picture of the frame is so fucking funny because it's like his jersey is like flying from like the wind resistance, and it looks like a fucking cape. So it just looks like this fucking vast marauder is just coming to like fucking dog this shit out of Miles Bridges. And it was just super fucking funny. It's like an insanely funny situation, but also entertaining. And honestly, it made the game more entertaining other like later on too. I fucking loved it. I think somebody got a tech later on too. I forgot. When the game kept going, somebody got like a tech or like ejected or like or just I forgot what happened. Yeah, the Pistons won that game, but it was also a super fun game too because it was like the Pistons are the number one team in the East, and the Hornets were also like one of the better teams in the East. Like they're like crawling out of their, like out of the play-in, like the bottom of the Eastern Conference, and they're trying to win games and stuff. And like again, it's like that's super fucking cool, especially what's going on with the taking situation, which I'll also get back to in a little bit. But it's just super fucking cool seeing all that go down. So like the game had narrative prior, and then it started, and then it's beef, and now every matchup between them got beef now. But I fucking love it, bro. I'm circling every single matchup they have from now on. But yeah, that shit was fucking dope as fuck. I loved it. What else? And then in the same fucking day, what was it? The Timberwolves and was it the Bulls game? Not Timbs and Bulls. It was fuck, who was it? Wait, I have to check. It was a Tim's game, and Nas really got into it with oh, but in the Hawks. Who was it with? I guess was it Mo Guay? It had to be, bro. Cause that motherfucker a demon too. Or no, I think Landale as well was also part of it. But Nas Reed got into it with one of them, and they started like, not like fighting, but throwing each other around and shit. And then there was another one that night too. I forgot who it was. Bro. I forgot there was another one. I forgot. I can't think of the other one. I don't remember. But that shit was fucking hilarious, and I loved it. Like that was like such an amazing, amazing night of basketball. And like I said, I wish we get more of that because I loved it. But yeah, next thing I want to talk about, very important, crazy thing to come out as well. Just ended a few weeks ago, or last week I think. But the trade deadline. Now, first thing I want to bring up with the trade deadline, the whole Giannis situation was the worst possible fucking thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I don't blame Giannis for this because it's not Giannis's fault. Although I do think that I would love for him to just like speak up after a post-game interview and be like, I don't want to be traded, like this is what I want to say. Or if I'm like, I'm going to wage my options, whatever, like actual sources and words from him. From what I'm aware and what I saw, he never requested a trade from the Bucks. But the Bucks, like he never requested a trade. But this has been going on since like last year, I think, or like the summer. And so we all thought Giannis was going to get traded before the deadline. And so for it to not happen, and we're getting reports every single day about it, it's so fucking annoying. It is so fucking annoying and fatiguing. Like, and honestly, it does kind of like make you hate, or not hate, but dislike the player, because it's like you think it's the player's fault, and like all this information that the reports are regurgitating and stuff like that, you make it think it's a player who's like not certain, but it's not the player. It's like all of these reports are just coming together in the same bullshit and just trying to like be clickbaity. And not only that, but now like with Twitter and the whole Cauchy thing, where like each fucking account is sponsored by Cauchy now, wherever the fuck it's pronounced, and like every in the Poly market, and like every single thing is like a gambling thing, where it's like, oh man, like this team is in the rankings now to get this player, like holy shit, put your money in, blah blah blah, like oh this probably's gonna happen, and like the fucking thing fluctuates every single day, and these big accounts keep on posting about it, and it's like I feel like it's becoming less and less about, like what I would say is it's kind of coincidental to an extent that this is all going on at the same time, right? Like these accounts like Cauchy getting into the NBA Twitter community, and the big Twitter accounts posting all of these big things. But I feel like it's also these big Twitter accounts taking advantage of the speculation that's going on. And so like all of these reports coming out that hint at Giannis going to a certain team or being traded in general is affecting these speculations and the odds, and it just keeps on like going, ricocheting off each other, and it's being updated every single day to the point where it doesn't feel like it's like news anymore. It just feels like we're getting like clickbaited so that the teams, like that people can win like these fucking gambles and shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, to me it's just like very fucking dumb. So seeing him not be traded was super kind of like annoying and draining. And then there was another report that said like that the Bucks were never interested in trading him, even though like there were reports that literally contradict that. So again, it's like the one thing that this deadline taught me, especially as a Ja fan as well, is like half of the reports you see, like not even half, like 90 to 95% of the reports you see about trade talks are fake as fuck. I feel like the ones that you kind of see once or maybe twice, and then that's it, are the ones that you actually take serious. But anyone that's like a regurgitation of it, of like the same exact fucking standing point or talking point, that shit is fake as fuck. Off the top of my head with the trade deadline, again, obviously Giannis stayed. I think the thing that they kind of said was, I think he said like, or the reports afterwards, after trade deadline, was like, oh, we want to keep Giannis. We're gonna try to do a playoff push after Giannis comes back, and hopefully from there we'll see what happens. So you know, like they just spread positivity and hope for the Bucks and their community, and I guess. But yeah, they did get some guys too. Oh, they did get somebody who I'm really excited for them, and I thought it would happen once the player was waived, but they got Cam Thomas, who was waived by the Nets. And so I think that's going to be a really, really, really good pickup for them. And I think once Giannis comes back, if they are able to make a play-in push, I think they're going to be very formidable in the playoffs. We'll see. Yeah, so off the top of my head, obviously, like, the main trade that kind of, like, broke the silence for the trade machine, or all the trade bombs to drop, which was the craziest trade to me, was the Jaren Jackson Jr. trade. I think this is right before the deadline, like the day of the deadline, and I don't think I'll ever forget this, but I was on my phone at work, and I was like, I was going through Twitter, we were convinced like no trade was gonna happen at this point. Like either that or all the trades are gonna happen like right at the deadline, and just gonna be like fucking people submitting like bullshit last minute or whatever. But anyways, um, I was going through Twitter on my phone. I saw a tweet from a guy, and then a quote retweet as well. The original tweet said, um, "Summarize your team's trade deadline in a few words. In a few words, like five, six, whatever the fuck it was." And then the Grizzlies guy, quote, retweeted it. Said, "John Morant, most likely gone. Jaren Jackson Jr. probably not." And then the original guy replied to it and was like, "Hopefully or he was like switching around the names." And then the guy replied back like, "Hell no, I would not do that. Or hopefully not." Put my phone down. 2 minutes later, breaking. Memphis Grizzlies are trading J.A. And I was like, again, and these are thoughts that are coming into my head like instantaneously, like just like kind of finish the sentence off and kind of think about it before I'm actually done reading it, and I'm like, holy shit, this is a job trade. Because again, like prior to this, obviously we knew that Ja was on the chopping block with the on the chopping block. And so we thought it was gonna happen by the trade deadline. And I was talking about that whole situation as well too, like the whole Ja trade shit after I finished with the trade deadline conversation. But anyways, the so it's breaking. Memphis Grizzlies are trading J.A. And I'm like, holy shit, this is Ja. But I keep on reading and I'm like, this name is too long to be Ja. This is Jaren. And again, this is Twitter. Like I'm on. No. I put my phone back up before the notification, so I'm still on the Twitter app. So obviously the pop-up notification on iOS, like you'll see the whole thing. This was still a Twitter app, so it was kind of like fades in after a few letters. So that's why I was like, "What? Like this is Ja," and then I realized this is Jaren. So I click on it. It's Jaren, Jock Landale, John Conchar, and Vince to Utah of Jazz for Taylor Hendricks, Walton Clayton Jr., Slow-Mo, and then I think 3 first-round picks. And so, and the craziest thing is, this happened. Not only was it 2 minutes or a minute after I like saw that tweet, but I was watching the Chris Vernon show. And they obviously reacted to it live too. And one of the guys on it was like one of the guys on the show, one of the members, is like a not long time Grizzlies worker, because they all are, but he was a media member that was introduced to the team right when John and Jaren were them, and when Jaren was drafted. So he came in when Jaren was drafted as well. So he was friends with Jaren because he was a media member. So he knew Jaren close, like very closely, and Ja too, and Bane and all of them. So he knew those guys very closely. So like for it to happen like the way that it happened for him, like it was fucking devastating. He was like, I think he was like crying on the show and shit about it. And I get it 100%. But that trade, when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? And I just kept on yelling, what the fuck? Because again, like the whole time is like we are expecting Ja to get traded, and then Jaren gets traded. And what makes it crazier was that, and this is why you don't always look at reports, or at least you take them maybe not seriously, but you kind of like look at it deeper than what it's just saying. But there was a report, I think, after the Ja report that the Grizzlies were open to trading him. They were like, yeah, we want to build around Jaren and our young guys now. And so I saw another Grizzlies community member like during the trade deadline or after it, and he kind of explained it as like, if that was the whole point of them wanting to build around Jaren, they wouldn't have said anything. There would be no report on it. But the fact that there's a report on it means something else is going on. And so he kind of essentially assumed and inferred that the team was not actually keeping him. The team wanted to make it seem like that basically they wanted to add more value to Jaren by making him seem like it was like a what's that term called? Like the word where it's like you untradeable player kind of thing, like a lock, like he was not being traded. So in doing so, by tweeting or by those reports going out, teams are like, okay, we're gonna have to up our ante if we want Jaren. And I guess that was the whole point, right? But, and again, I'm talking about the Grizzlies right now, but I will talk about other teams as well. If the whole situation or the whole point was like that, like if that was a whole orchestration by the Grizzlies front office, I don't understand how or why Ja Morant is still with the team past the trade deadline. And so, to me, it just didn't make sense that they kept Ja, because I feel like if you wanted, not only did they trade Jaren, but they traded John Conchar as well, who was like a player who was with the Grizzlies, I think either like since the beginning of that whole era as well, that they're trying to move away from. So for that to happen and them keeping Ja, I feel like it was just so, it doesn't make sense to me. And there's another report that came out today as well that basically said, obviously there were a couple teams that reports kept on coming out about it, and they were kind of saying like, oh, Ja, the Kings want Ja or interested in Ja, the Bucks, the Pelicans, I think too, the Raptors, the Timberwolves were, but not anymore, or like they stopped before the deadline or something, like a day or two before the deadline. The Heat, and then a sneaky one was the Nets, and so those teams were interested in Ja. And so there again, reports kept on coming out that they were interested in Ja, or like some of them dropped out, some of them were still in, some of them came back in. Like I don't know. Again, all the reports were contradicting each other, but those are the teams that I saw that were interested in Ja. And so, anyways, look at Ja they trade Jaren, and again, it's such a like it obviously is such a sad trade, but I think what happened, or like my reaction on it was more like I'm just so shocked that I like the sadness of it isn't clicking yet for me, and especially because Ja's still with the team as well. But like it was just such a shocking trade, and I didn't expect it at all. And what sucks more too is this, I feel like Jaren is such a player who was he was such a pro's pro kind of guy, right? Like, he was just super professional about everything. He kind of was forced to be the franchise face, because Ja's kind of like, I guess, immaturity and stuff like that, and his availability as well. But he was kind of forced to be that role of player, or like that, be that player for the franchise, and for him to be like just basically thrown to the side was so fucked up. And I also feel like him going, like, I kind of knew to an extent, like, if Ja was going to get traded away, Jaren's probably going to go as well. But if Jaren goes, I hope he goes to contender. That was what I wanted, right? If we're going to break the team up, at least send Jaren to the contender. They sent him to they sent him to the same team, the same conference, and to the Jazz of Utah. Like, and so, and again, like, I think that lineup that they have is going to be great, especially next season once they get whoever they get from this draft, and everybody comes back healthy, like Kessler as well. But I think that lineup's gonna be insane. Keontae George, whoever they get for the two, and then Jaren, Markin, and then fucking, I don't know why I'm counting the six hands. I should have used my thumb first, but whatever. It's gonna be what, Jaren, Markkinen, and then Kessler. Like, that's gonna be an amazing front court, especially because Kessler as the five, being the defensive anchor and rebounder that he is, allows Jaren to be the roaming defensive guy that he is, and he also stretches the floor out on offense because he's a shooter. So I think that lineup is gonna be really good come next season. But it's like had he gone to a team like the Hornets in the East, would have been great for him because it's the East. That team would have been great. It would have been a four who can shoot. Replacement Miles Bridges. It's an upgrade from Miles Bridges. Maybe they play a little bit differently, but that would have been a fun team. And you put in the Eastern Conference as well, or with the Pistons. I think the Pistons he go to the Pistons as the four. That fixes all of their issues without actually removing any of the things that they have in their identity already. Like, he would match there, so. And shit, him being on a team that's extremely defensively, how do I say, physical. They might stop calling it the ticky tacky foul they call on them, and so that's what I was expecting to happen. So for him to go to the Jazz was just disappointing. I felt and I feel for him because I watch videos of him now and shit, and he looks so fucking sad, dude. He looks fucking depressed, and it's just it's unfair. It's really unfair to him. He really did not deserve to be traded away like that. And not only that, too, but I feel I think the first game back from the All-Star break, which is the 20th, we actually played them as well. The Grizzlies played the Jazz. So I think that's going to be a very sad game as well. But yeah, it's just it was just such a surprising trade. And for it to happen like that was just so crazy. And I still can't. Again, it still doesn't make sense to me. Seeing him in purple, even though I think he looks amazing in the purple. Not gonna lie, he looks fucking raw. He's a very, very handsome, beautiful man in the purple and white. But yeah, it's crazy. I still can't believe it. I can't. It's crazy to me. The next trade that I do remember on top of my head, obviously, Trey and AD to the Wizards. I think it's gonna be very interesting because obviously they're not competing this season but next season. But I think the only thing is, when I look at that team comp, it's those players are not gonna make this team a contender next year, right? Because the thing is, not only are both of those players injury prone, but the Wizards are too young to start anything. So I kind of see them as just superstar mentors for the young Wizards. I don't see them, but my fear is that it kind of happened. What kind of happens with them happens with the Rockets, which is kind of happening with the Rockets right now. I literally spoke about this when the trade happened, the Kevin Durant trade happened, was that it speeds up the timeline and forces the young players to play within their disadvantages or play within the schemes that the defenses are going to put these players in, therefore kind of forcing them to play within their disadvantages, if that makes sense at all. Basically just speeding them up and making them play in a way that they haven't unlocked yet, right? Again, Amen Thompson is being guarded by their center, the other team's center in the perimeter. And his handling and passing has not been the greatest either, or playmaking option as a guard. So it's and they're forcing him to do this because, again, they have KD, so making that KD trade was a win now move, even though that team obviously is not good enough right now, at least in terms of their guard play to be able to win now. Obviously, if Fred VanVleet comes back, if he comes back soon before the playoffs, then things could be different, and I think it will be a lot different. But I think that only happens if he comes back before the playoffs. Like, I think he does need some warm up games and stuff like that too. But yeah, those anyways. AD and Trae Young to the Wizards, which I do think though that they're gonna be an extremely exciting team to watch next year. I think a front court of AD and Alex Sarr is gonna be fucking nuts, and I'm excited to watch that. Like, I think I would be fucking scared having a score on them two niggas. Can you imagine? And that's two loud partners for Trae now, which is awesome. Obviously the scoring from Trey Jones, or is that his name? Trey Jones? I can't believe I forgot his name. That's like, I feel like that's not his name either. Fuck, I feel like a fake fan. I actually like him too. Is it Trey Jones? Fuck, where is it? Trey Johnson. Trey Jones. I'm a chud, bro. Trey Johnson. He's averaging 13 points. That's pretty good for a rookie. But yeah, so I think if he's able to extend and grow his scoring bag, I think he's also going to be really great, because he's obviously one of the better shooters. Even as a rookie, he's been an elite shooter and has like such deep ass range. I think he's going to be super interesting in the future, because I think the range at which he's shooting is going to be such a surprise for defenders that, like, if you put him on a contender right now, and you see like he's like shooting that bitch like efficiently, like, I think the gravity that he would have is like would be fucking insane. Like, I think it would be like crazy having to guard him next to a player who's like also really good at scoring. Like, maybe not, like, I guess like just like for yokes, like Shea and him, like, as a backcourt, I feel like it would be a crazy backcourt. Like, it's, again, if he's shooting the way he's shooting, but that's whatever. But yeah, I think the Wizards are gonna be awesome next year, and we're not awesome. I think I can see them being like they're at minimum playing team. Maybe max like 6 seed, maybe. I don't know. Maybe just a playing team, like a 7-8 seed. Because I think Pacers come back next year with Howley, and then they get who they draft, and they're gonna be fucking top 4 most likely. Celtics are still gonna be top 3 because Tatum comes back, and Tatum been showing them. There's been clips of Tatum playing 5-on-5, which is fucking insane too. That guy, I fucking tweeted about it. His fucking ACL. His fucking ACL disintegrated and regenerated before John Moran could play a good 5+ games in a row. Like, come on, bro. Come on, son. Anyways, a very big one that I was very surprised about, that it happened I think it happened like 3-4 days right before the deadline, but the James Harden and Darius Garland swap. I think there was more to it as well, but I forgot. That was such a great trade, because it was a crazy trade, because I feel like it happened. It was one of those situations where it happened, where the report and and it happening were so close to each other that, like, you kind of had no time to think about it a lot. But I think it's a good trade, because I was kind of skeptical about it at first, because I feel like Harden and Demons together are like usage demons. But I also do think that that's a very formidable scoring duo. And I think Harden is still going to be able to take advantage of the pick and roll and be very great as a playmaker like Darius Garland, and be able to play very good in the pick and roll with Jarrett Allen like Darius Garland used to do. And Harden is healthy, like, more than Garland. So, I think they played last night, and they were really great. When did they play? Not last night. The night before. Right? Yeah, they played the Nuggets, and I mean, they were phenomenal. They played amazing. With no Mobley, they beat the Nuggets by 2. Demons dropped 32 and 10 assists. Harden had 22, 10, and 7. And the Nuggets, they didn't have Aaron Gordon and Watson, so both teams were both pretty injured. But I mean, that's a great game. That's a great win too. Damn, I don't know if I heard that, but yeah, that's a great game from them too. So I'm interested to see them more. I don't want to say that they. I think I saw Kenny. I saw numbers on the board, and Kenny was like that. I think Kenny said that he had them winning at the East, and I don't know if I agree yet. I gotta see them more, but that's the super. Yeah, it's very formidable, very awesome lineup right there, and then Garland to the Clippers. The whole Clippers situation is weird because it's like, and I don't even like talking about them no more. They're a weird organization. They obviously their pick isn't theirs, but then they made that trade with the Pacers that I'll talk about too, like right after. Or I can no, they made the Clippers made the trade with the Pacers, sent Zubac to the Pacers, and in return they got, I think it was like 3 first-round picks. Benedict Mathurin, and then Isaiah Jackson, I think his name is. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think it's Isaiah Jackson. Yeah, Isaiah Jackson. And so, but one of the first round picks was for this year's draft. And so basically it was like, basically, if the Pacers get 1 to 4, or picked 1 to 4 or 10 to 30, I think, they end up getting, like, the Pacers get that pick. But if it's 5 to 9, then the Clippers get the pick. So it's a very interesting trade because I feel like what it does is for the Clippers, it makes sense because if they're gonna go young and they get 5 to 9 and just loaded ass draft class, then they have Kawhi, Garland, and then they have the 5th to 9th guy who probably can still pan out to an all-star because this draft class is just loaded. For the Pacers, it also makes sense because if even if the number's 5 to 9, and so they don't get the pick, they have Zubac, and then Halliburton, and that team comes back healthy next year, and they're gonna be great, and then they have Zubac, who's gonna be able to be really, really cool. And I think Zubac, I wasn't really thinking about it that much. Like, I don't know how it's gonna work with them because I like the Pacers' offenses are so fast and like about like agility and stuff that I don't know how it's gonna work out with them. But I think Hallie and Carlisle are gonna be great at kind of taking advantage of such a beefy fucking screener and offensive rebounder. That I think it'll work really well, and I'm excited to see it because I think, again, knowing how good Hallie is as a forward general is just amazing, and I do think they'll make it work. And I'm excited to see it. Damn, voice crack. I'm excited to see it. So, if they don't get the pick, they still have a great lineup, right? And they still have Zubac. If they do get the pick, which is 1 to 4, they get their fucking insane guy, who I'm hoping, and I want it so bad. I'm not gonna lie. Paul as fuck. I want it so bad, but I hope that they do get the 1 to 4 pick, and I hope that they get fucking AJ Danabasta. I want him on the fucking Pacers so bad because I think he would fit so perfectly, bro. He's gonna fit so perfectly on the Pacers. I think, especially with Hallie, bro. Imagine having to fucking guard Zubac and Hallie in a pick and roll, and Hallie fucking interior passes to Zubac. Zubac passes out to the wing. and it's fucking AJ at the wing, and he fucking hezzies because two defenders are going at him, and instead of fucking trying to pass out, he takes it to the fucking rock to the rim, and instead of yamming that bitch, he fakes a fucking yam and passes it to Zubac. Bro, oh my god, I need that shit, dude. I think that would be such a fucking like. I think AJ just fits that offense so much, and I feel like it's an offense, especially like regarding AJ's playstyle. I think if it just fits the Pacers, and even with him being a young guy, they're not gonna demand more than what he already does by being on that team, even with them being a playoff contending team. So I think it would just fit amazing, like from a systematically, and just like a personal player growth point as well. I think it'd just be amazing, and I really, really, really want him to be on that team. But again, as I was saying, Pacers either they don't get the pick, or they get pick 1 to 4 or 10 to 30, and they still hopefully find a guy that they could, I guess, have as their forward, right, or six man or backup, bench role guy, right, whatever. But I think it's a very risky and like insane protected pick thing, whatever. But it's super fucking cool, and I think it works out for both teams regardless. Again, it gives the Clippers more opportunity and gives them a little bit more hope for the future with that pick if it comes to fruition. Obviously, there's some more. Let me see if I can find some more big ones. Pause. Porzingis to the Warriors. I think that would be great if the Warriors were not battling injuries too. Like, had that trade happen with him and with Curry and Butler healthy, and unfortunately Butler's out for the rest of the season, which fucking sucks too. Like, that was a very unfortunate injury that happened as well. But I think then that would be like an insane lineup. But Kobe White to the Hornets, amazing. I think that's gonna be super fucking cool. I don't know if he starts or not. Probably doesn't. Comes off the bench as a 6th man of the year. He will probably be the best bench player in the team. To be honest, I mean, not in the team, but in the league. Like, he would definitely be one of the best bench players coming off the bench, or obviously players coming off the bench in general. But I think he's gonna add a lot more firepower to that already offensively gifted minded team. So that's super cool. Vucevic to the Celtics is also super cool. I think he's going to fit there really nicely. They have their center now. And if Tatum actually comes back before the playoffs and he's able to play, like, maybe not like what he was doing last year, but something where it's like, I think Tatum is an automatic net positive to any team. So, maybe they could be a formidable team in the East for sure. Kuminga finally fucking got traded from the Warriors, bro. Dude, this whole fucking saga was so fucking annoying. I'm not even a cum buckets guy. I don't fucking like him. But I am so relieved to see him out of that team, bro. Finally, bro. There was just no reason for him to be on that team. Like, past last summer, there was no reason for him to be on that team. Especially with all the reports coming out. Basically, and again, I don't know if they're true or not. Basically saying that they didn't really want him, or like that they were like beefing, that the front office and them were beefing. Supposedly, a report came out that they were like, they saw him as a face of the franchise or some bullshit, or they saw him as like an Aaron Gordon type of player. What? Even if that was it, then Steve Kerr would have played him, or they would have attempted to actually play him more, but they didn't for a reason. They didn't want him on the team. They didn't like him. So him just like, again, every report that came out, it was one of those things with the reports, I fucking hate them, where it's like, dude, just stop. Like, I'm done with this shit. So I'm happy that he got traded. Is he gonna work on the Hawks? I don't know. I gotta watch some D-League for 3 videos because I know he got some reactions to it, and I'm very excited to see what he has to say about it because he's such innovative and intelligent mind on basketball. So I definitely want to see some of his videos and see what he has to say about it. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna work with the Hawks, but I think it is cool to have him there. It's another athletic wing who can handle the ball. They have like fucking 4 or 5 of them bitches now, so he fits right in, I guess. CJ McCollum to the Hawks too, but that happened. That was in the Wizard trade. Yeah. I don't know if I talked about that before. I don't if I was able to, if it happened before my last video. I don't think I did, but yeah, that was in a Trae Young trade. Jaren McCain to the Thunder. I forgot who they got in return, who the Sixers got or whatever. I don't know if it was just draft compensation or what it was, but that's a very great pickup. Listen, ever since last year, maybe even 2 years ago, no, last year, I've been a fan of Zodiac GM. That motherfucker ain't lied to me since. Ooh-wee. That motherfucking A+ synergy rating with the Thunder. And I think it's going to be great for them, too. I think what he does for that team, or what he's going to do for that team, is he gives them actual, real shooting. Not that fake shit with Isaiah Joe or Aaron Wiggins. That nigga's actually a shooter. And when it comes playoff time and he gets minutes, as long as he's not a cone or absolutely taking advantage of all the time on the defensive end, he's going to be great for that team. And I'm very excited that he got an opportunity with that team, especially now that Shea's out because of the fucking abdominal, fuck, the ab shit, whatever. Like, it's just super dope to see him play for a team that's actually gonna want him, and I think he's gonna fit perfectly. I mean, he does. Even without the fucking Zodiac shit, you could tell he fits perfectly in that team. It's a fucking team that fucking clothing, TikTok, nails, like all of that shit. Like that dude fits in perfectly, and it's super fucking cool to see him there. So, I mean, he had like a great game. I think his first game wasn't the best with them, but then he had a great game afterwards. He had like 12 points or some shit. And again, he's getting to he has that mid range shot, the light skinned 6'1" shot. You know who he reminds me of? Like, it's literally AJ Mitchell. Like a copy of AJ Mitchell. Like without the systemic mind. I guess that makes sense that AJ has, like that playmaking mind. Because I think AJ is super good at it as a playmaker as well, and being able to play within the system. But I think Jaren McCain has like that mid range where he gets to his shot. Like, he creates his shot very, very well, and taking advantage of his shooting ability a lot. Luke Kennard to the Lakers. I don't know. Cool pickup for them. I want to say real shooting, but I know that motherfucker is not going to shoot. I think I saw like an interview question, and he basically said like, "Oh, like I know what they're going to want me to do. They're going to want me to shoot." I feel bad for him because that Lakers fan base is not going to be happy with what he does, unless he turns into fucking Kyle Korver, which is the shooter that he should kind of be, but he's not. Vit Krejci to the Blazers. That's a cool pickup for them. Gives them actual shooting and just more scoring off the bench. Usman Dane to the Bucks. Nigel Hayes Davis. I genuinely don't know who that is, and I feel like an asshole. I'm so sorry. Jaden Ivey to the Bulls. Colin Sexton to the Bulls. Yaz Busai to the Bulls. Rob Dillingham to the Bulls. Leonard Miller to the Bulls. I did not realize the Bulls got that many players in return. They got a lot of guards now. I think it's cool to see the Bulls actually do it, like make a direction now. Like, they got rid of their guys, and now they're actually like a young, rebuilding team. Giddy's still on the team, but I know he's injured. But it's cool to see them get even though they have a bunch of guards, like now let's say they actually are going in a direction and looking for something to do, and not just like, I guess, mingling around in the swamp, right, that they've been in. It's cool to see Rob Dillingham go to the Bulls too. I think like that's low key like a match made in heaven in terms of like aura. But yeah, I think that's super cool for him. I think he played like more than 20 point. He played for more than 20 minutes a game or two ago, which is super cool because like he wasn't doing that on the Timbs, and again it makes sense why he wasn't. Like I'm not saying that he shouldn't have been, but obviously the Timberwolves had playoff aspirations and honestly them trading for Rob Dillingham the season that they did and then not playing him anyways was like the dumbest thing ever, and I think it was a waste of a pick as well because I think they had to move up the draft to get him. So it was just very, very, very dumb. But yeah, but it's cool to see him there. Nick Richards is also underrated pickup. I think I like that for them as well. Scrotum to the Cavs, Keon Ellis to the Cavs. Those are just cool pickups for them. A good backcourt depth, even though they have Harden demons now who are like, again, minute demons. But it's cool to have some more scoring off the bench, especially with Scrotum. I think he's gonna be pretty good for them. Like I said, we got Walter, Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, and then Eric Gordon, who I think we waived. I think, but back to that trade with the Grizzlies. From what I read and from what Klayman said in the interview that they had with him after, what I'm assuming went down is, like I said before, the guy in the Grizzlies community, what he said was right. I think they raised Jaren's value up, and then they kind of just gauged every trade. I do think they could have sent Jaren to a contender. Obviously, they wanted the best for the organization as well, which is, again, it's kind of like crazy when you think about it because, maybe it makes me think about the Desmond Bane trade because it's like Desmond got sent to an area that he wanted to go to, and they kind of worked with him, I think, supposedly. Or no, I don't think they worked with him. I think they mentioned who it was and he was happy that he was going where he was going. So I don't even think they worked with him. And I know for sure they didn't work with Dylan Brooks when he got traded too. So they told him what was best for the team, the organization. Now, again, I don't know the other fucking options. I would have loved to know. But from what I read, Klayman specifically mentioned Walter Clayton Jr. In one of the answers about the trades, or like what they got back in their trades. He obviously said that he wanted that they're going in a different direction now, younger players, even though that's what they've been doing for the past 3 fucking years, so whatever. So they got they got fucking Walter Clayton Jr. I think, honestly, the team or the front office, they wanted Clayton. I don't know why, but I think they were interested in him before the draft as well, and I think that's one of the reasons why they accepted this trade. Again, I don't know the other options, but there had to have been more teams and better teams asking for Jaren. So I think, again, they chose Utah because they were like, all right, this might be like a top 3, top 4 best package that we've gotten, but it has the guy that we want, so therefore it is the best package that we gotten. So we want this guy, and again, that's what it is. That's what I'm thinking it is. I'm just fucking hypothesizing. I don't really fucking know, but yeah, obviously it happened. Who else? Buddy Hield went to the Hawks. I did not. I forgot that he went to the Hawks. Jock Landale. He was a part of the Utah trade, but then he got traded right before his plane to go to the Hawks. And what he did was that he was still in Memphis when he got the news that he was being traded against the Hawks. So instead of going on the plane and to play on the same day, he took a 5-hour drive from Memphis to Atlanta to play. My fucking demon. Look, you may have been a fucking cone on defense, but big bro, you good with me forever. That's a real nigga. That is a real nigga who wants to play basketball. So for that, always cool with me. John Conchar and Vince to the Jazz. DeAndre Hunter to the Kings. That nigga's in purgatory forever now. I'm so sorry for you. Jose Alvarado to the Knicks. Awesome for him. I think he's going to fit there perfectly. I saw what was it? I saw a GTA 5 because his number is 5. So just super fucking cool. I think he fits there perfectly. He's gonna be fucking awesome there. Chris Middleton's in the Mavs. Completely. I didn't remember this. That's kind of crazy. Tyus Jones to the Mavs. I saw that. AJ Johnson to the Mavs. I did not see that. What the fuck? Bagley to the Mavs, which I did see. I think he's a, I think he would be. I think he's a good backup 5. He's like when he was with us, he wasn't bad either. Like I don't think it's bad to have him on the team. To be honest, I think he's a pretty solid backup 5. Um, Ochai Agbaji to the Nets. I'm trying to think of like other players that are Trace Jackson Davis to the Raptors. I think that's a good pickup. The Pistons also got Kevin Herter and Dario Saric. Those are I think Dario is like kind of like a I don't want to disrespect him. He's low key a gimmick guy or whatever. Uh, Kevin Herter I think is gonna be pretty cool for them. I don't think he's gonna play a lot of minutes, but he's gonna be a cool backup or cool scoring off the bench. Um, Everybody else, like I said, Cam Thomas got waived, but then from the Nets, but then he got sent to the Bucks, which is awesome. And then Mike Conley was traded and then waived, and so he might sign back again with the Timbers, which is kind of cool. But yeah, those are all the trade options, and yeah, obviously again a lot of the trade options. Again, the whole thing with the John thing was like I don't understand how he's still with the team, why he's still with the team. I was hoping low key that the dark like because teams were saying or like I saw some reports saying that the Nets are like a Dark Knight whatever team to get him, and I would love that shit because I mean as y'all know I am from New Jersey, so and the Nets is right there, big bro. That would have been beautiful. I would have loved that shit, and I think him having Claxton, MPJ, Dayron Sharp would have been fire as well. And I would think honestly that would have been a pretty decent starting lineup. And he's in the East as well. We kind of might have scanned the Eastern Conference Finals, and also the Bucks as well. There was a report that came out today that supposedly, again, I don't know how real this is. I have not read the full report yet, but the trade would involve Ryan Rollins, I think a first round pick, I could be wrong. And then either contract of Bobby Portis or Kevin Porter Jr., I think. And the Grizzlies did not want that. And again, it's like I don't understand at that point. Why the fuck not? Why are you not taking it? Right? Like why are you not taking it at that point? That's an amazing trade if you want to get rid of Ja and just move him on. Cause it brings promise. It brings some promise to Giannis. Because it's like, all right, we're gonna give you this guard. He might be washed up, but obviously we know what his ceiling is. We know his talent is, and he can still impact winning. He can impact winning basketball when he's healthy and locked in, engaged. And then the Grizzlies get a great guard in Ryan Rollins, who's a great defender. He matches with the intensity and the grittiness that the Grizzlies kind of convey and portray and want. So it's like I don't know why it happened, why it didn't happen. So it leads me to believe, and again, this is me speculating about bullshit and just like making narratives that probably don't make no sense at all. But maybe Clayman just wants to punish this nigga, bro. Maybe he just wants to punish this nigga. Maybe he just don't like him no more. He's like, yo, you're not playing for the rest of the season, and your ass is staying here, and we train you in the off season. This is payback for what everything else you did in the past few seasons, you bitch. And I don't know if it's right. I don't know. Obviously, probably not right either. I think Clayman is one of the best possible trade for Ja, and obviously it didn't work out. So yeah, hopefully, of course, John Moran looks at this and is like, damn, niggas don't want me. I'm dog shit. I gotta do better. But yeah, real quick. Let me see. They do. There's a lot of games playing. A lot of games going on tonight and tomorrow and then Friday too. I don't know about Friday actually, but obviously All Star coming up. Um, sorry. But anyways, I did want to talk about the drafting shit, the draft problem going on, the tanking problem going on. But I think I'll leave that for the next episode. I'll try to get this one in clean and quickly. I have been yapping for a bit, but and I'll probably talk about more about the John thing later and like the whole Grizzly situation later, because I feel like it's such a interesting, it's such a weird topic and there's so much to talk about with it as well, in my opinion. Because I have someone to talk about it and opinions on it. But anyways, that was it for today's episode of Eyes on the Ball. Again, kill me about it. I know I've been horrible about shit, but I'm trying to be better. I'll try to get this in soon. I don't know about tonight, but hopefully tomorrow morning or tomorrow night or Friday night or morning. But should get this in hopefully soon. But if you enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe. If you have anything to say about how you don't agree with my opinions, or you do agree with them, or any information you would love to talk about, or conversation we talk about, put it in the comments. I would love to speak about it and hear about it and listen to what you guys have to say. But but anyways, see you guys in the next one. Peace.